Hello YouTubers! So here we are at the end of the tests. I don't think there is anything else that I can test really. So what I've decided to do is break it down into sections, and what I'll do is I'll sort of say how each camera fared in the various different sections. So first up is sound. Now as far as the onboard mic was concerned, I think the zi8 did a better job. It was a little bit bassy, but the onboard mic was a lot louder and it was in stereo, and I think it did a far better job than the playtouch. When I hooked them up to the mixer, I think that the playtouch's quality was better, but obviously it was still a little bit quieter. Now as far as sound is concerned, one of the biggest issues with this is the squeaky door. I'm not sure how you could fix that. But basically, when you zoom in and out, when you press to zoom, if you hold it like that, the door squeaks. Now as far as the internal mic is concerned, that picks up that noise quite hugely, and you've probably heard it on some of the videos that I've done, and it does make quite a loud noise. So that is a bit of a negative as far as the playtouch is concerned. But on the whole, I think sound wise the zi8 comes out as the better camera. Video. Now this incorporates everything to do with video. Image stabilization, 1080p, 720p, blah blah blah, all the rest of it. So first up, the playtouch. You get more in the picture with the playtouch. The low light quality is better, but it's not brighter. The 1080p I think was a lot better on this than the zi8, and I think the image stabilization on the 1080p did a far better job than the zi8 did. There was no jelloing, there was no pixelation at the bottom of the screen, and I think it did a far better job. I also think that the quality of the picture in normal and this type of lighting, the playtouch did a better job. The zi8, when I was looking at the 720p one that I'm just uploading now, I think that with the image stabilization off, and even in some of the ones with it on, I think the zi8 did a better job. Both of them were really shaky, the ground was really uneven, but I think out of the two cameras I was quite surprised that the zi8 did do quite a good job. So I think that the zi8 slightly did better than the playtouch. The file size is a lot smaller on the zi8. I think I worked it out to be about 2.5 times smaller, which is quite a lot. In the 720p one that I'm just uploading now, I thought the zi8 in the 30 frames did better colours than the playtouch. Also it was brighter as well, which I was quite impressed with. The low light as well is brighter on the zi8. But having said that, I did find that in some situations the zi8 seemed to be a little bit out of focus. When doing a video sort of like this one, the zi8 seemed to be just a tad blurry, which I'd never noticed before. I have checked the lens, and I did check that it wasn't in macro, so it wasn't that. Also obviously the zoom is an issue on the zi8, which is a bit of a bummer because it still zooms in and goes dark. Generally speaking, I think they're evenly matched as far as the video is concerned, because you know the playtouch has a lot of bonuses, the zi8 has a load of bonuses as well. The negatives and the plus sort of make them more or less equal. If any of them was to be better, I think the playtouch would be slightly better. Features. Playtouch obviously wins hands down because you've got extra features on here. You've got the onboard editing, you've got the taking a picture out of your video type thing on there, you've also got the share button on here as well, plus the extra effects which can improve the low light. All of that lot just makes it better than the zi8. Software. Now I've had a few issues with the software. When I was doing the 1080p one, the zi8 file I had a lot of trouble with, and I spent a whole day trying to render it, trying loads of different settings. In the end I had to convert it in order to edit it and actually get it rendered, which I have never had to do with the playtouch. So the playtouch works far better in any of the software that I've used recently than the zi8. So the playtouch is a better camera as far as that's concerned. Price. Now I checked the prices in the middle of the week, and basically it worked out that in the UK the zi8 is half the price of the playtouch at the moment, but in the US it is slightly dearer. But generally speaking, the zi8 is a lot cheaper than the playtouch. So I suppose it sort of depends really on your budget in that sort of regard. So that's all of the categories done. In conclusion then, what is my general thoughts of the two cameras? I think, like me, if you brought a zi8 a year ago and you've got a year's worth of good use out of this, then I can understand why people are hesitant to spend the extra money to get the playtouch. When the playtouch first came out, the sound issues for me would have been quite a big issue, and I probably wouldn't have got it. Now that the firmware 1.18 firmware has sorted out the sound, I think that it is better. Is it worth its money? I think I would like to see it a little bit cheaper. Also, a biggie for me is that door noise. I'm not really sure how he would fix that. Fishycomics would probably know how to fix it, and I think he might have even said how to on one of the comments. But you know, it is a bit of an issue. I think as far as the playtouch is concerned, it is the only issue, and the fact that the sound is slightly lower now. Even though it is better since the firmware update, it is still slightly lower. And I did notice in a couple of the videos that I did that there was a little bit of background noise as well. So it would have been nice if they put a stereo mic, internal mic on this and sorted out that door. As far as I'm concerned, if I'd have had this for a year and I was looking to upgrade, then I probably would save the money up and buy the playtouch, because it is a good camera to have. It does have a lot of good features. As it stands at the moment, I would say if you're looking to get an external mic type camera and budget isn't an issue, then I would get the playtouch. If budget is a problem and you've only got a certain amount of money, then the zi8 is a good choice to have. But again, like I keep saying, it all depends on budget, it depends on what you're going to use it for. You know, all of those sort of things come into the equation, and you just got to figure out what's the best camera for you. I mean, please ask me, ask fishycomics as well. Between the two of us, we'll sort of try and point you in the right direction. But as far as I'm concerned, after all the tests that I've done, I still prefer the playtouch over the zi8. Even though the zi8 does have that which I like, which is a lot easier to do than on the playtouch, and the fact that the sound is better, I think for me quality overweighs sound, because once you put the external mic in, you can, you know, tweak the sound to however you want it, and you can make it better. And the video quality on this I still think is better than the zi8. So there you go, that's my video. I hope it's helped. Obviously you can ask me about all of the cameras that I've got, and I will try and answer those questions as best I can. But for now, I hope you're having a good weekend, and I'll do some more later on. Okay then, bye bye for now.